Go to 7. I'm going to share it with you today. I'm going to just review what we've touched on so far because these build on themselves, right? So our lesson 1 last week was that practice of just visually looking around your space multiple times a day and saying, nothing I see in this room means anything. So it's that just kind of being okay with that. And then we added to it, and then the next day was to say, I've given everything I see in this room all the meaning that it has for me. All the meaning that it has for me. I've given everything I see all the meaning it has for me. And our third one was this one: I do not understand anything I see. Now, for some, that may have been a little tougher because I think for many of us, we've been wired or conditioned to have all the answers. And it was maybe a little unsettling to practice this statement. I do not understand anything I see, yet I've been programmed to have all the answers. It's a conflict, and it may have shown up that way for those of you who practice it. Now, the reason I revisit these is you can always go back and practice any of these at any point in time now that they've been brought into the conversation. Along with that, if you miss a day of these, I do have the website almost, I've got a couple of the recordings up there already. I'll have the rest done before the day is out. And that's over at KW Pivot 2020. And it's got its own page for A Course in Miracles. So number 4 was this one. Whoops. Let's see. Let's get to number 4. There we go. These thoughts do not mean anything. That was our 4th lesson last Thursday. They are like the things I see in this room, on the street, out this window. These thoughts do not mean anything. So again, throughout the day on Thursday, we're asking you, when you had thoughts, just stop and do that. And then Friday was, I'm never upset for the reason that I think. I'm not angry at so-and-so for the reason I think. I'm not afraid of blah, blah, blah for the reason I think. Now, the key to this one was that you were specific about the emotion that was there for you that caused the upset, and then the specific cause of the upset. And then you would say this. So I'm never upset for the reasons I think was an overarching lesson. And the practice was to say, I'm not angry at that buyer, John Smith, for the reason I think. I'm not angry at, my husband, John Smith, for the reason I think, that type of thing. And that was Friday's lesson. And yesterday was similar to that. And it was that I am upset because I see something that is not there. I'm upset because I see something that is not there. So I'm curious with yesterday's lesson, what showed up for anybody? I just wanted to see if anyone had anything happen as you practiced number 6.
For me, it relieved a little stress or pressure.
And how did it do that, Nancy? What did you experience?
Well, I might be having a zoning issue, and it's a might, so I really shouldn't think about it right now.
Right, because you couldn't you? You could attach a lot of meaning to it. You could tell yourself stories like, why does this happen to me? How could this happen? You could do that, or you could just do what you chose to do. Right? And that just leaves you. Now, let me ask you this question. How does that leave you? I know you muted yourself, but when you chose that, how are you being now that you've chosen that?
Well, there is nothing I can do about it right now. So I had let it go, and it makes me feel a lot better. Otherwise, yeah, my mind could go. It kept me up Sunday night. So it didn't keep me up last night.
So there is a lot you could do about it. You could worry about it. You could get angry about it. You could beat yourself up about how could I let that happen. I mean, there are things you could do. You're choosing not to, that's exactly that's exactly these lessons. That's exactly these lessons. So I love that you share that with us, Nancy. Thank you. Anybody else have anything that you're experiencing or you're noticing as you practice these lessons? Kimbra, yeah, I agree with you. She put in the chat box, all in the energy you put towards or into it. That's exactly it. So why do that? If it's a choice of where we choose to put our energies. And what we're working on here is actually giving us release from where a lot of us would normally go to put those energies, because that's how we've been programmed our entire lives. And so this is a reprogramming, if you will, of a way that we've been conditioned to think. And that's this conversation. So Nancy, I love that you share that with us. And better yet, I love that you're practicing that. So that's awesome. That's awesome. So today's lesson number 7, is this real simple. I see only the past. I see only the past. I see only the past. I'm going to break it down a little bit more because this one is probably one of the more difficult of the lessons so far for many of us. It says the idea itself is particularly difficult to believe at first, that I see only the past. Yet it's the rationale for all of the preceding lessons. So let's just think about that for a moment. So it's difficult to believe at first that I see only the past, yet it's the rationale for all of the six before it. Right? So let's just go back and look at those for a moment. Say, see nothing in this room, nothing I see in this room has any meaning. It has all the meaning. I don't understand anything. These thoughts don't mean anything. I am never upset for what I think. I'm upset because, let me get back to the right. I'm upset because I see something that's not there. That's all built up to number 7. And number 7 is I see only the past. I see only the past. Now, I see only the past is the reason why nothing that you see means anything. It is the reason why you have given everything you see all the meaning that it has to you. Is it starting to sound familiar? Yes, it is the reason why you do not understand anything you see. It is the reason why your thoughts do not mean anything and why they are like the things you see. It is the reason why you are never upset for the reasons that you think. And it is the reason why you're upset because you see something that is not there. So old ideas about time are very difficult to change because everything you believe is rooted in time. And it depends on your not learning these new ideas about it. So again, we're anchored to that because that's where all of our beliefs sit, is in the past. That's how we experienced it and quite frankly created those. So it's difficult to let go of, and you're going to probably get some internal strife around this as you work on it. Yet it's precisely why you need to learn new ideas about time. This first time idea is not really so strange as it may sound at first. So let me say that again. So I see only the past. This first time idea, for many of you, this is the first time you've ever thought about it that way, is not really so strange as it may sound. Now, for example, look at this cup. Do you see a cup? Yes? Yeah. And now here's the question though. Do I see a cup, or am I merely reviewing my past experiences of picking up and holding a cup? Is this real? Being thirsty, drinking from a cup, feeling the rim of the cup against, as I go take a drink against my lips, having breakfast and so on, is that real, or is it just the past experience of that? See, are not your aesthetic reactions to the cup too based on past experiences? You only know it's cup from something in your past. Somehow it was deemed cup, and it held liquid, and so you knew you could quench thirst with it. How else would you know whether or not this kind of cup will break if you drop it, or would bounce? That's stainless steel. How would you know? It's from your past. What do you know about this cup except what you learned from the past? You would have no idea what this cup is except for the past learning. Do you then really see this cup? Now, where you're at, look about you, in the room you're in, wherever you're sitting doing this meeting with us. This is equally true of whatever you look at. Acknowledge this by applying the idea for today of I see only the past. And do it indiscriminately to whatever catches your eye. So don't again filter. We've been working to not filter. So example, I see only the past in this pencil. I see only the past in this iPhone. I see only the past in my shoe. I see only the past in this hand. I see only the past in my body. I see only the past in this face. I see only the past. I see only the past. Don't linger over any one thing in particular, but remember to omit nothing specifically. So don't not do it, because you're filtering just everything. Glance briefly at each subject and then move on to the next. 3 or 4 times through this day is what I'm going to ask that you do each, to last a minute or so, and that would be enough. So linger, the total thing on each item you look at and say, I see only the past, is a minute or so, and see where that takes you. I see only the past. 3 or 4 times today. Let's see what happens. Linger on it for a few minutes. Everything you see. No, don't be, please be indiscriminate. So just everything. Don't give it meaning. Just be with it. So, questions, thoughts, comments? I'm going to take the PowerPoint off.
Can you finish your statement that I didn't finish writing? It's the rationale for all.
Yes. Yes. That was earlier on, wasn't it?
Yes, at the beginning.
Yes. I remember the word rationale. I got to find it though for you.
At the very beginning, pretty much.
Yeah. Oh, it is. It was the second line. Thank you. So it said, this idea is particularly difficult to believe at first, yet it is the rationale for all of the preceding ones, right? So this is what led, all these other ones led to this. And if you think about it, I think that's so true, right? So our very first one, it's the reason why nothing that you see means anything, right? That was our first lesson. It's the reason why you've given everything you see all the meaning it has for you. There's a reason why your thoughts don't mean anything, and why they're like the things you see, because they have all the meaning. And it's also why the upset that you have is not for the reasons you think. And the upset is because there's something you see that's not there. And now it's just that it all comes from the past. It all comes from our past. And this is an interesting one to play with. So just see what happens for you today as you, again, don't judge any of it. Okay, here's the remote control for my ceiling fan. It's that because it's from my past. Now my smoke alarm is going off in my condo. It's just from my past. It really is. It just did. Actually, they test it every year, every Tuesday this time of this day of the month. So, any questions, thoughts, or comments? Any last announcements before we let you go into the day? All right, guys, thanks so much for being here with me. Just a reminder, actually, if you get lost in any of this, you can go find a lot of the material online. You don't have to buy the books. What's interesting about Schuckman, the author of all of this, that she didn't copyright any of it. Her purpose is to have it out there doing what it does. So I think that's interesting too about the energy of this. So just know that it's there. I am gonna get each of these little vignettes up on the website. It'll be done before the day is out, and we'll add these every day then, so you've got that in case you missed one. We will see you tomorrow if there's nothing else. Have an awesome day. Get some real estate doctor checkup appointments set as your third quarter connection with your database, and have a great day.
Thank you.
My pleasure. Thanks for being with us.